Hello everybody, I'm glad you could join me in my FFA classroom where I'm going to be talking about the incredible edible egg. I'm going to be using some of the resources that are brought to you by OSU Extension, and you too can get these to use in your classroom by contacting your local extension educator. They'll be sure to hook you up with some incredible resources. Now we're going to talk a little bit about eggs. Eggs come in all shapes and sizes and even colors. There's everything from blue eggs to really dark brown eggs to, of course, the white eggs that we see most often probably in our grocer's fresh food case. But in reality, even though they look different on the outside, the reality of it is they're just the same inside. Nutritionally, they're still the same. Sometimes the egg yolks may be a little darker depending on what the hen has been eating, but nutritionally, they're just pretty much the same thing. Let's go over a few of the parts. One of the things that you'll see here, we have the thin and the thick albumen. Whenever we cook that at home, that's going to turn into the white of the egg. We also have, of course, this yellow part, which we call the yolk. And you may be able to see this little tiny white dot over here of the germinal disc or germ spot. And that's where we're going to see the embryos start to develop if in fact it is a fertilized egg, has not been refrigerated, and it is either incubated by the hen or artificially in an incubator. Other important aspects of the actual egg itself would be the chalazi, which are these little kind of rope-like structures on either side of the yolk. The chalazi will actually kind of cradle the yolk like a hammock, and it will allow the yolk to stay in the center portion of the egg. We want it to stay in the center portion of the egg so that we can actually, it wouldn't stick to the egg, and it can maintain the integrity of the egg. We also want to look here inside, and we see in the larger portion, the more rounded end of the shell, we see an air cell. We can also see the membrane that is in there, and that membrane is going to help keep the egg from drying out. And that air cell is actually the place that the baby chick is going to get its first breath before it comes out of the shell. In older eggs, if you're going to be eating your eggs, that air cell actually gets older with time. So this is an example of one of the resources that you can find, and it's really cool to be able to color eggs and actually identify them. You can see this is one that one of my students actually was able to do. They did a color-coded diagram, which was really fun and informational.